Any Seinfeld fans out there? You remember the episode where George's mom or someone they stopped short. They stopped short on him and he put his hand out there and touched my mom or something like that nature. I'm always reminded of that episode when I hear about brake checking. People in front of you slamming on the brakes, because that episode was about, I think Kramer was claiming that the vehicle in front of him stopped short or brake checked him, and that's why he had to slam on his brakes. At any rate, brake checking is a real thing. Surprisingly, there are people that brake check semis. It happens. There are people that brake check you. And I have clients come to me and just recently had someone say, hey, I rear-ended somebody. And I'm like, well, that's probably your fault. And they're like, but wait a minute, Darren, wait a minute. There was nothing in front of them. They slammed on their brakes right in front of me. It almost seemed like they meant to do it. There was nothing in front of them. It wasn't like a squirrel ran in front of them. There was no cars in front of them. They just hit their brakes really hard right in front of me. Is it still my fault? Well, now that changes things, doesn't it? Because that may mean it's not your fault for rear-ending them. They have a duty, and you have the right to believe that they are going to obey the rules of the road. They're not going to slam on their brakes and stop in an unreasonable manner. They are going to put their turn signal on when they're ready to make a turn. All of those things allow the person following them, my client, to know that what they're doing and to drive accordingly. They're not necessarily allowed to just slam on their brakes to whip it into a parking lot or driveway without signaling and aggressively stopping and expect the car behind them to be able to read their mind and anticipate that. So that is a scenario where we may be able to recover from them. They're the at-fault driver. Things that are very important in that scenario are evidence. Any video evidence, if you have a dash cam, if there was someone traveling behind you or in the opposite direction that stopped and said, hey, it's on my dash cam video, if you've got things like that, that's very helpful to hold them down or lock in the at-fault driver for what they really did. And it also keeps them from saying after the fact that, oh no, I didn't stop fast and I even put my signal on, when it may not be necessarily the truth. Now, you do have a duty to follow and drive in a reasonable manner. So that doesn't excuse you if, for example, you're in traffic and the traffic comes to a quick stop or a quick slowdown, you know, rush hour on the interstate or a busy road here we travel on, and traffic comes to an abrupt stop for whatever reason. It just does when traffic's heavy. You have a duty to anticipate that, follow at a safe distance, keep your car traveling in a manner that you're able to stop under those circumstances, and that wouldn't apply. But like I said, when this client called me and said, oh, there was nothing in front of them, there wasn't a car in sight in front of them, there were no square, they just decided at the last second, oh, they wanted to make this turn, slammed on their brakes and turned, and that's what caused them to rear them. That changes everything, and we should talk about that. That may be something we'd like to talk about and pursue.